Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Michael. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up the correct camera video settings for your YouTube videos. I think this is a very important subject, and if you're shooting your YouTube videos and you don't know how to set up your settings correctly, hey, this video is for you. Don't change the channel and stay here with me. Alright guys, and we are back. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I would like to welcome you. Here at this channel, what we do is we review electronics, action figures, and also we do tutorials. So if you're into that, you might want to consider subscribing here to the channel. And also, if you can do me a small little favor, if you like this video, if you can hit that like button, it helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you in advance for your support. Alright guys, and now without further ado, let's go and talk about today's subject. Alright, so you finally made the decision to record your first YouTube video, but there's still one minor or big issue. You don't know how to configure your camera, or you don't know how to set the correct settings. If that's the case, today I'm about to show you how to set the correct settings for your video camera. For this video, we're going to be using two cameras. That'll be the Sony a7 III and the Canon EOS R. Why? Because these are the cameras that I use to shoot my videos. And also, not only that, but a lot of people that I know, they use a Canon or Sony. Now, this configuration, you can use it for any other brand. Alright, so not specifically for the Canon or Sony, but you can use it for Panasonic, Fuji, any other camera. Alright, so setting number one, let's start with the Sony a7 III. You will find two options. The first one is the XAVCS and the AVC HD. I will definitely recommend the XAVCS for best quality. It gives you more information. The AVC HD is an old format, and I would definitely stay away from that format. All right, for the Canons, you're gonna find the format IPB or the ALLI. I personally use the IBP because I'm trying to keep my files smaller. If you don't mind and you have enough hard drives, you can choose the ALLI. This one will give you the less compression, and as a result, it's going to give you the best quality, and also very important, it's also going to be much easier to edit. Depending on which software you're going to be using, this will make it much easier for you to edit. I personally haven't found much of a difference for my YouTube videos, so that's why I choose the IPB. The quality still looks, in fact, this video, I'm shooting it right now in IPB, and it looks really good. And I don't have any problems when I'm editing with my Mac Pro. Setting number two, the resolution. This is pretty much universal for either camera. It doesn't matter what brand. You will find on some cameras, you will find 6K, you will find 4K, and you will find HD. I personally like to shoot in HD, and the reason why is because I know most of everybody, my viewers, are looking at my videos throughout their cell phones or maybe an iPad. In the analytics and YouTube, I can see what devices people are using, and mainly what they're using is their cell phone. So I'm not really worried about 4K or 6K. Now, there is a benefit of shooting in 4K. If you're gonna be, if the main focus is a big TV, you're shooting for a big TV or for a theater, then definitely you wanna go for 6K or 4K. But not only that, but when you shoot with 4K, obviously it looks beautiful, and you have more room if you need to crop your images. So this is basically subjective. I personally recommend, or for myself, I like shooting again in HD because I like to keep my files smaller, so that way I don't have to buy too many hard drives. All right, so setting number three, the frame rate. I personally recommend 24 frames per second. If you're looking for that cinematic look and you're not shooting any actions or you're not shooting any slow motion, then I would definitely recommend 24 frames per second. It looks so much better. Maybe in another video we'll talk about shooting in 60 frame or higher frame rates, but they're mainly used, I personally mainly use them for B-rolls or when I'm trying to do some slow motion video. All right, so setting number four, that is the shutter speed. The general rule of thumb is for the shutter speed to be double the frame rate. So if your frame rate is at 24 frames per second, you're gonna double that. So that means it's gonna be 1 1/48 of a second. Now, if your camera doesn't have that option, more likely you're gonna set it 1/50 of a second. This thing applies if you set your frame rate at 30 frames. That means that your shutter is gonna be at 1/60 of a second. The same if you set your camera at 60 frames per second, it'll be at 1/120 of a second. All right, so setting number 5 is the ISO. So basically the ISO is the sensitivity of the light to a film or to a digital sensor. So basically the higher you set your ISO, the more sensitive it is going to be to light. So as a result, you have to be careful, because if you set your ISO too high, your video will start looking very grainy or noisy. So there is a limit that you have to find out what that limit is to your camera. But I personally like to shoot my YouTube videos between, or I like to keep them between 200 and 400. So there's another important setting on the camera, and that is the f-stop. Now this is very important because it will allow you to create a more cinematic video shoot depending on the focal length of your lens. If you have a basic lens, I will probably recommend, depending on what you're looking for, maybe to create a little bit of depth of field. So if you have a prime lens or a lens that goes 2.8, I will encourage you to get a lens that is that has a f-stop of 2.8. And if you don't, if you only have a regular lens that has a 3-point f-stop, you can still work with what you have available. And again, this is something that we're going to talk about on a different video. Alright guys, so those are very important 5 settings to set on your camera, so that way you can shoot correctly your first video on YouTube. Now there is another very important setting, and that is the white balance, but that's going to be for another video. I still haven't shot that video, but once it's available, I will notify you. So make sure to activate that notification bell so that way you don't miss that video. And it will also be available at the end of this video once it's available. Alright guys, so that is it. If you want to watch another interesting video, I'm going to leave you with this one right here at the corner. Alright guys, I will see you guys next time, and thank you again for your support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.